Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Tuesday, September the 27th, starting with the DAX on the daily chart here. If we pull the DAX in line to the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and so on, I mean the NASDAQ is weaker than the S&P, has moved down further, but just generally speaking, we're looking at wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the US markets. And then we'll be looking at a corrective move coming back up 50 or 60%, depending on the sentiment of the market at that time, and then coming down for another move down. Now, because the DAX, I've put this B wave here, and I've looked at the A wave here with an A wave here, an A, B, C for the B wave, and up for the C wave to make the B, and that would bring that in line with the S&P, and this market has been moving down in line with the S&P and the NASDAQ and so on. So I think it's fair to continue to count it like that. But at the same time, I understand that this may not be wave 1 here, and this may not be wave 2 here. It could be like a B wave up here, or an X wave, or something, you know, something else. But at the same time, whatever this leg you want to call it, will be in 3 waves, and it will be pulling back as a wave 2 would pull back, as a 5-3-5 structure, as an ABC correction. So it won't make any difference in the meantime. The difference will probably come out at the end here, where instead of coming down for wave 3 here, we'll end up seeing some other type of pattern as another 3-wave move or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So, but we'll keep an eye on it. I understand, you know, the other counts, you know, so it's not a problem. So the current move is really looking at this move down through here. Now, obviously, the other points that I need to make is that this big box here is the 50 and 60% retracement level from the previous trend up. So that's important. We can see that, you know, there's been support here. We have breached those 2 previous supports. I do believe we'll go down further. I do believe the 12,000 and the 11,500 are going to be quite sort of critical in finding lows in this particular area through here. We have been trading short down here in the US and the European markets and the Asian markets and so on. We are going into a series of wave 4s in here, not just this lonely one here, but there's another 2 in here. So when we move into wave 4s can get complicated, and I just sort of allow them to unfold to a certain distance, and then you can kind of recognize what they are at that point, because out of the 12 corrections, they can all occur in wave 4s, and we've got 3 wave 4s lining up here. So in terms of trading, we know that we're going to be moving into a I had a swear word in my mind then, so I don't want to use that, but a messy situation. So if you want to get lower, that means that you need to have a higher stop and probably take a little bit of money off the table here and just let it go down into this space. So anyway, let's go in and talk about this this little area in here. I haven't got it fully resolved, but I'm sort of quite close to it. So that said, let's go in. I think we'll just work our way in. This is a 10-tick chart, 10,000 tick chart. So we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and what we're basically looking for is we're looking for, from wave 2 up here, we're looking for 3, 4, and 5 to finish off at that point to, I'm going to call it wave 1, but I understand that if you've got to count it differently, that's fine too. But at the end of the day, after these 5 waves here, we're going to get some sort of correction back over here, and I'm just going to call it a wave 2, and that will be in 3 waves over here. So any trades that we've got in here, getting down to here, we've got this wave 4, this wave 4, and this wave 4. So they could all line up at that point roughly. So yeah, so that's it. So basically, there's different ways to count this down. Now, this particular wave 1 and wave 2 here would be in line with the US markets. So that top there for that blue wave 2 will be the same as the S&P. So I think that I'm counting this in two different ways. I'm just doing one where I just count each wave and yada yada yada, and also then tying it into the US, because basically, you know, all these indices have been created by stock, and then when you got STOXX, you got different sectors, and in those sectors you got different countries doing the same, making the same product or thereabouts the same sort of product. So there's a lot of correlations that sort of go along. So finding this low here, there will be stocks that are out of sync with this particular wave one down here. We know that, you know, we've got our Facebooks out of sync, we've got Tesla's out of sync with the majority of the market, you know, but still on an intraday basis they'll be moving down like this, and they are, and so on. So yeah, so my problem with this particular account is I don't know if I've got blue wave 3 or green wave 3 here. That's my issue at this point. I mean, if I put green wave 3 there, that looks kind of okay really, because here we've got 1 and 2, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in here, a little bit dodgy in here. This wave 4 pulled back to its 38.2, not quite, it could come a little bit higher, so we could push that up there until that low here is breached. We could either do one or two things. We can either go up for this one and then come down for this one, or we could actually go up for this one if that blue wave 3 is sitting here for that. If this market takes out that low, that current low there, then we can push this back over to here, and then we can count this down here in 5 waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for this one here. And then we would come up at this point. Currently, from that high to this low, that's the 38.2% retracement level. So it can go up to that point. So you need to keep your stops above the 12,400. You know, well above that. You know, to get through this. So it's possible for this to move up here now. We're moving into. We know that. Mondays and Fridays give nice trends in both directions, and we know that it starts to slow down on Tuesday, and profit taking starts to come in on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday start to see swing days. So Thursday we could see this move up to this point, you know. But just to let you know that, you know, in one way or another, we don't have that blue wave 4 in yet. You know, it could emerge from here, but we don't have it in yet. So that means we don't have wave 5 in here yet. We don't have this wave 4, and we don't have this wave 5 here. So we're going down. It's just that all these wave 4s are going to make it a little bit complicated. That's all. So yeah, if this low gets breached, then we'll go from wave 4 here as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for this. Okay. If it moves up here, then we need to look at this being a blue wave 4, and we'll need to shift this in here being a blue wave 3 over here for that. But yeah. Okay, so let's just cruise in. I think I've got a different count on this one here. Okay, that's plenty. Yeah, this one counts it a little bit differently here. This one here, I've got wave 2 here. I've got wave 1 here. Probably not right, but counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to this point as 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave for the third, the fourth, the fifth for the third, and the fourth here. So it's, you know, a completely different count. It's just probably not right, but I'm just counting away. And then this would leave wave 1 here and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so wave 3 to here, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 4, so a lower wave 4 coming back into the 12,400 area, and then down for this wave 5 here, and that would be the low at that point. And that's not too far wrong actually with US banks, by the way. So I'm just keeping this in the background here for this. But in terms of trading, if you're short anywhere in all of this, then 12,000 would be our target, and our stop needs to be, you know, above the 12,500 to keep it safe. If you want to take money off the table, then this is a nice, you know, if you can't handle that heat up at that point, and I don't blame you, then if you've got CFDs or something, then then taking some money off at this point here would be about right. So go to the 100 ticks where we've got that US count here mainly. Let me just get a bit more data in here for that. 15 should be enough. Yeah, that wave 2 up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and then from that blue wave 2 going down to the green wave, blue wave 3 here, and then 4 and then 5 coming down further at this point. Oops, I got 2 wave 4s there, I need that, and a wave 5, so we'll be looking at something like that. I might need to tighten all this up a little bit, and we might not reach the 11,500. It could be 11,800 or something like that, but we'll just see how high these things go and how these travel. So over here we've got, I'll just remove that and bring that down. We've got 3, 4, 5 here, then an ABC for wave 4 here. We've got this as wave 1, so it can pull back to the 12,300 roughly, and then drop at that point. So if it's going to drop at that point, the day traders can short it under here for that, and then come down to the 12,000, and that will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for this. If this is going to move up, then this is the target area up here, the 12.4 at that point. So I'll just see how far it moves, because I might need to look at this as the A wave, the B wave, and then put this wave 4 just over here, a little bit higher up here. So there's a few things I need to sort of resolve here. I mean, I kind of like this as the green wave 4, but this, having a green wave 4 here, is putting me too far past behind the US banks, which will dominate the S&P as well on that note. So but anyway, I'll get there with these wave 4s, but like I said, that's the strategy. We're leaving the stop out of the way if you've got short trades all through here or whatever. Just keep it out of the way. Can take some money off the table here with that, just leave that there for that zone there anyway, and then we can look to, you know, if we can understand the correction, we can put some back in here tomorrow and do it to the downside. I just need to work out which wave 4 we've got. This one that may just come to here or to here. Also too, when you've got trend lines like this, it's normally the wave 4s that break the trend line. So don't think that you've got an uptrend at that point. It's very, you'd expect wave 4s to break the trend channel. Okay, so we've got a few of them here, so we can bring all these wave 4s, line all these ducks up here, and look for further downside here somewhere. We'll see how tight this this whole thing plays out. So yeah, look, a bit of a tricky one. We've got all the wave 4s. We know we're going down further. We know we're going to get complicated wave 4s across here. We know we need to leave the stop out of the way. You can take some money off the table here, and if it comes up to 12.4, use your techniques to chuck it back in and come down. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a bouncy ride here in a way. It'll be like this, you know, and then we'll be going up at that point. Alrighty, so we just take that with the we can take that with the currencies as well, basically the same sort of thing. With the stock 50 here, the same again as well here. So if this low is breached here, then short-term traders can look for 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. So just a short-term drift down. You could probably lift that up under here now, under these lows here, but otherwise we'll need to look at this as some sort of A wave to here and ABC here for this, and then moving up there further. So we can just label this here as an A wave, B wave as an ABC, and then a C wave up here for the wave 4. So you've got to leave your stop out the way. You need to take some money off the table if you're going to do that. I'll just put it out the way over here, and we can look to put it back in over here with this. So if this goes beyond the 50, 60 as an A and a B and a C here to the 61.8%, well, that's where it is now. So if the 3360 becomes the support, then it can trade above it to like 63 or something. But if it finds support there, then you know that we're going to be going up further at that point. Okay. Otherwise, we could look at this as wave 1 here and 2 here and 3, 4, 5. Yeah. But anyway, as I mentioned yesterday, we'll be going into this series of fours here, and there's still a lot more to come, and I don't have all the answers, but they are corrective. This move here is a corrective pattern, so we will be making new lows. It's just a matter of time. Let's let them mature. So for the FTSE here, as I mentioned yesterday, we're coming into 7,000 again. So we're going to see the market find support here, also vibrate here. We also know the move down will be the same as the US markets. We can look at this as, well, I can look at it as an A and a B and a C down here as well. So I can look at it as wave 1 and 2 here. I can look at this being a little wave 1 in here and a wave 2 in here for this. Too many objects on the chart, so I'll just take some off. But look, yeah, so I don't know if we've got an A and a B and a C down to here, or we're going to have 5 waves down to this C wave here. So we'll probably play it out like 5 waves coming down. And yeah, so we'll just see how that plays out. I won't need those there for the time being. I need more things, so I'll take those away. And we'll be looking for some sort of move up there, but we don't need those right here now. So, but yeah, we'll probably just fluff around here with a series of wave 4s and then go down. We'll have a look at the 5K tick chart. So we can look at it as wave A here, or wave 1, and B or 2 up here, same sort of point. We can look at this as wave 1 here. I can put wave 2. See, I've got 5 waves there, so I'll put wave 2 here, but I know that the other one's on this one, so the other markets are on this one, which leaves me another wave 1 here and 2 here, but I'm not getting that, so I'll have to put that over there like that. But still, I know that, as mentioned, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So as I mentioned yesterday, that we're going to be going through a series of wave 4s here. So nothing I can sort of say or do about that. So that's where we are at the moment. We're just going to be bumping along the bottom here, and yeah, we'll just see if we get if we're going down for wave 3 or wave C. So if we get a wave 4 here and then a wave, we probably will. On the intraday level, we are moving with the rest of the market. So you know, it's more likely that we're in wave 3 than C at this point. But I'll just run them both together for a little while until we can figure that out. But that's where we are for this. So basically sideways and down. Not good intraday trading. Don't lose money in that space. Over to the FX. Yeah, I mean, where do we start with this? So I think we should just go and have a look at the monthly chart and just talk about this for again. I mean, probably more so to help myself really, but so as we talked about this a couple of times, but I think in the commodities, that's why I wanted to talk about it here, is that we can look at this as wave 1 here and 2 here. That's all pretty clean, tidy, nothing wrong with that. We can look at this as a wave 3 here for this. That's cool. We can look at this as an ABC for wave 4 here. The problem with that is that these two fellas here overlap wave 1 here. Not by a lot on this one here, and that's the important one, but it does overlap, so that is an issue. So if we do take that issue upon ourselves to correct it, it would be that we'd look at this as wave 1 here, and then take that wave 1 and look at this as 2, and then we'd have to look at this move up here as wave 1 here with an ABC for wave 2 here. And then we're going into a third wave up here. You know, this is sort of viewed as a commodity because it's a basket of things, so the fifth wave as an extension and it's fine. As I may have mentioned, that we can look at the distance of wave 1 and it is what it is, the distance. And then we can see this move here that's basically expanded, hasn't it? It's basically, it's like a vegetable or something growing, you know. It's expanding through time and space. And then this one here is also expanding. So when you come back here, this is the first one, and then you can see that this whole trend is expanding. Now, if I looked at it as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here, then we'd have 5 waves here. So that means that we would have a correction and then another move up here, which would be in line with the US 10-year yields that we look at a lot. You know, so, you know, what happens to other, you know, currencies at that point if this moves up here for that, you know. I mean, when this tops out here, I'll conservatively count 5 waves up here, and then yeah, we'll just watch it correct. If it finds support, we get a classic trading levels pattern on 11,500. We'll be going up further at that point. So I will be diligent and mindful of all possible counts that can come into play at this point. But the first step is to count this up as a conservative view without extending it and doing all those sort of things. Is just basically do the basic count up and then, you know, call the top in and then look for the pullback from that top, and if we see that pullback being corrective, then we'll extend the wave structure to the upside, because if we're still in that trend channel to the upside here, otherwise we'll be looking for a larger correction to pull back here. Can this pull back 50-60% of this whole move up here? Yeah, it can. But I can't see it doing that while the yields are still pushing higher, you know. And we've got a very clear count on those 10-year yields, you know. That's the thing with those, you know, if we look at those. I mean, I'm just trying to get my own head around it, really. So just it helps if I can talk it out a bit. So yeah, I'm very clear that this, from this low here, this is 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave. So when this pulls back for the fourth wave here, that might take a bit of pressure off the US dollar, you know. But then there's another clear wave structure that needs to go up here. So it can have reprieve at this particular point here, you know. I mean, it'll be a bigger reprieve over here for this. Now, I've just labeled this wave 1 here and wave 2 here, which is pretty scary. But it may just be the A wave here and a B wave here. But still, having 5 waves here will give us a correction and then another 5 up. So we may get reprieve when this comes in here at 4% here. But it's going to 5%. So, yeah, so that means that the US dollar can go through this particular move here as well. So that means that we can have reprieve here. We could look at this differently. I mean, shit, we might need to count this as wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and then go up for 5 here inside in line with the yields as well, you know. And then bring that up to here and look at this. There's a few things that can go on here, you know. Hasn't taken the low out here, and this is always controversial, this whole move down here. I did count that as 5 waves though, but anyway, I always just go step by step. So I know that we're going up to 11,500, which to me is a medium level, and it's important. It makes the next level up at 13,000, which is a major trading level. So just all the major levels of Fibonacci numbers. We don't normally use 13, but we do use it in stocks, but not so much in indices, because the next number after that is 21, but we would rather just use 20 at that point, you know, because psychologically it's where the people place orders, you know, so 20, 30, 50, 80, that sort of thing. But 13 here running from 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, chucking 10 for the power 1 or 8 to 13 at that point. So anyway, let's just see what we get at this point. So we're just counting up here on this chart. So back to the 2000 tick chart here. I mean, obviously this is going to affect the, you know, or the euros and the cable and the Australian dollar where I'm at, you know. So this move from the wave 4 here, we can count it as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5 up here of 5. So from wave 4 to wave 5 up here of intermediate degree. But to be honest, this wave 1 here just doesn't make any sense anymore, do you know? It sort of makes more sense to have this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then the powerful third wave going up here, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. That's what I'm sort of thinking. But I can't prove that yet. I don't have any evidence whatsoever about that. But we're going to leave we've got it as wave 3 here and wave 1 here, and we've got this as wave 4 and 2. And when we've been looking at the pound and that, we've been using this wave 4 here. So we'll continue to do that wave 4, and we'll count up here in from wave 4 to wave 5 here in orange of minor degree, and we'll count up as minute 1 and 2 in blue, and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. So that's how we're counting at the moment. I'm reasonably happy with the count. This wave 4 here that I've got here is a little bit small, but this one, wave 2, is really small. But it's certainly possible to put wave 4 over here for this. I don't think we need these trend lines here for the moment. So yeah, we could just go straight up. We've only got 3 waves up here, so we can pull back to wave 4 here and then move up there. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo, it doesn't really matter, but we've still got more. We've got to take out that top there, and we haven't taken out that top. So we're looking for that wave 5, of wave 5, of wave 5, but it's a good chance that we will need to look at that as wave 3 and wave 4 to come back, but we'll need evidence of that. So this is important for the pound and the euro to the downside. I just can't see this being the top of the top here, because that would be the wave 5 of the wave 5 that we've been looking for. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense for the stock market. It doesn't make sense for this here as well. Yeah, but still, you got to kind of stay with the facts as best you can, So that's what we're doing. So we'll see how the cookie crumbles across the medium level here, 11.5. Okay, so that said, let me just go back. So this wave 4 here to wave 5 here, that's the trend that we're working with when we're looking at the euro. So this wave 4 here, looking down as 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I could put wave 4 over here, that's fine. It could get a bit messy in here, so we're looking for this to move down here. I mean, if I was lining up with the US market, with the dollar index, I'd put wave 3 here for that. So I have made a mistake somewhere. I'm just not quite sure where it is just yet. I'm going through the same thing with STOXX as well. I'll get there. I just need time to ponder it a bit. But we still have further to move down, and we need to put wave 4 up here, because so this here can be an A wave, an ABC for the B wave, and then go up here for wave 4 over here. And it could also be blue wave 4, but either way we still need to make a new low down here. So that's the thing. This could be wave 4 over here, and this could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 coming back up, but it's kind of very lazy. So but we'll see. If it takes the low out, then if it takes this low out, then you know that you will need to treat this as wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 coming back here and then moving down. But otherwise look for 5 waves up here, coming back up to the old high just above it, and then rolling over and making a new low coming into 95. And that will be the same with the cable as well. So we're looking for this wave 4, counting down as 1 and 2 and 3, an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then coming down. Now we are higher here. We are at the 50-60% rather than the 38.2%, but I have to say it does appear that we've got 1, 2 here, and 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third, fourth, and fifth. So it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So If we've got 5 waves here, then we'll have to look at this as the B wave here, as an A, B, C here for the B wave, and then that will give us 5 waves to the upside here, testing that 1.1 there. I don't want to put a low in here just yet because of the US dollar. I mean, I could put this wave 5 over here, but I still think there's one more little leg to come down here. You know, we want to see a bit of equality with the Brits. But that's where that is. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.